Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Nicole and this Ted do have chemistry and they just haven't gone there yet. I would be more open minded to it though if they haven't turned Nicole into Nicole. Hello, fellow Beyond the Gates viewers. Here to talk about today's Wednesday episode of the show. Not my favorite episode, honestly. They are bringing a whole new meaning to May Sleeps today with this show. If they could, put today's episode in, a pill form somehow, it would make the best sleeping pill. I would take it. It would probably help me with the insomnia that I somehow have, because today's episode was a yawner to say the least. But let's start with Eva's pre-birthday party that Leslie was hoping would be just between herself and Eva and Ted, because they are once again making it known that Leslie is obsessed with Ted. She's been with Marcel all these months and it's kind of led to nothing. But once again, after this episode, we learn how much Leslie still thinks that Ted is her forever bae. Leslie was upset, like I said, that Izaiah was there. Ted invited Izaiah to the party. Izaiah is the one cooking at the party. Eva had to remind Leslie during these scenes that it is her birthday and not Leslie's, because Leslie was doing things that she wanted Eva to do today, or trying to push Eva to do things that Leslie wanted Eva to do. She was complaining that Izaiah was cooking, crapping all over Isaiah's mac and cheese, but she did end up liking Isaiah's mac and cheese that he made. We also talked about in this episode how Eva's birthday is actually the day of the cotillion. Does that mean that Leslie will be involved in the cotillion? I see a lot of people online and in the comments thinking that they're going to somehow shoehorn Leslie into that storyline. It's very possible. Anyway, with Isaiah's cooking, he talked about how his mentor when he was younger taught him how to cook, as Bobby Wobby rightfully guessed in the live chat today during today's watch along, that it was Joey that was the mentor that Izaiah was talking about, although he did not want to say that in front of Ted and Leslie. During the dinner, Leslie did talk about how Isaiah's mom said Eva was the daughter of Satan. She told this to Ted. Ted made a comment that Darlene was probably right in that regard to it being Leslie, and then she threw it back at Ted. Then Eva opened gifts. Ted did this, I guess, sweet thing for Eva, giving her the gifts that he wished he could have gave her other birthdays, like a teddy bear for when she was a kid and perfume for when she was a teenager. And, I guess it was a sweet gesture from Ted. Ted then wanted he and Leslie to leave so Eva and Izaiah could continue the party themselves, which they did, where Izaiah talked about how he didn't want to tell Ted about Joey being his mentor because he would have been judged and it could have ruined his approval from Ted. He wanted Eva to have a great pre-birthday party, which she said she did. They ended up doing a lot of kissing. Izaiah let the L word slip that he might be in love with Eva. And he knows that Eva wanted to take it slow, but that is how he's feeling. But Eva is saying that she is falling in love with him too. So Eva and Izaiah are in love. And I don't mind them together. I like them together. I want to like them more, though. They need a storyline. This is not a storyline. Eva and Isaiah's romance has not been a storyline. I'm sorry. It is what this show does a lot. They put two people together and they have a very boring build to them becoming a couple. Nicole met with Trash today, and Nicole told Trash about how she was imagining Ted when she was fucking Carlton the other night, and Vanessa made some comment that Nicole better be glad that she wasn't moaning Ted's name while with Carlton, because Vanessa made it known she has experience there. Vanessa still trying to humiliate Doug even in his death, because she's just trash. That is what she is. That is who she is. Vanessa thinks that Nicole should scratch that itch and sleep with Ted again. And judging by this episode and several episodes lately, they definitely are trying to turn Nicole into Trash 2.0, and Vanessa really wants Nicole to be Trash 2.0, even though Nicole said in this episode she doesn't want to be the hospital hoe who is sleeping with a third man that also works at the hospital. That is clearly what Nicole wants, because later in this episode, when she went to the bathroom, Leslie came and sat with Trash, and Vanessa let it be known to Leslie that she was here with Nicole. And when Leslie was going on and on about how Marcel is not her forever babe because Leslie is back to being obsessed with Ted, because I guess they just took a detour for a few months, and now this is what they're doing with Leslie again because they have no real vision for Leslie as a character. Vanessa was trying to get Leslie to shoo along during this conversation because Trash did not want to be caught by Nicole talking to Leslie, because then it would prove to Nicole that Trash is a Trash friend, which she is. But Nicole did not see that because Nicole ran into Ted and they had a conversation, and during that conversation Nicole had daydreams of sleeping with Ted. And even though the daydream was kind of good, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe Nicole and this Ted do have chemistry and they just haven't gone there yet, I would be more open-minded to it though if they haven't turned Nicole into Nicole, because she is definitely being a hoe about this, because right now she has two guys fighting for her, acting like teenagers. She's sleeping with both of them at the same time. They don't have a problem with it for whatever reason, but she's not satisfied. She wants to sleep with her ex. She's Nicole from now on for me. Next up, we had Smitty and Tomas talking about Lynette. And I'm just going to say this. If this show's just going to continue to have characters yap on and on about Lynette, but I'm actually not going to get to see her, I don't care. I don't care. And it's not like this conversation accomplished anything. Smitty went to Tomas looking for information on Lynette, and what ended up happening was Tomas just wants any info that Smitty gets on Lynette. Although Smitty did have the assumption that someone may have hurt Lynette, and that seems to be the case. As I keep saying, I'm just going to assume that these terrible writers made a bad decision, killed off Lynette in the most boring way and stupid way possible, until I see her again. Although I have not seen news that the actress exited the show, so that gives me a little bit of hope. But I could only assume, with how bad the writing has gotten on the show, that Lynette is dead. And conversations like this aren't doing it for me. Bill and Naomi were still talking about the case and how Mike is the lawyer and how Mike is an ambulance chaser now. They also talked about Ashley a lot at the beginning because Naomi is so obsessed with helping Ashley. I want Naomi and Ashley to become a couple in the future. I think it's the only thing that can make me want to watch the Ashley character anymore on the show. I am not team Ashley and Grayson. I know there are more people that are coming around to liking Ashley with Grayson more than they liked Ashley with Derek. I am not one of those people. I cannot root for a couple that had sex a few times but are now acting like they just care about each other so much. It's totally unrealistic. They've known each other for like a month. They had one real date, and they just fucked a few times. Don't buy it that Ashley would go this extreme for Grayson as she has. But anyway, that character wasn't on today. Hayley was on today, and she decided to join Bill and Naomi for drinks after Naomi was the bigger person and said that it's okay if Hayley stays for a drink. Hayley learned that Mike is the other counsel. She was shocked about that. Although Naomi did make a comment after Hayley said that Mike was the worst thing to ever happen to this firm. She said not the worst, alluding to Hayley. But then Hayley made a toast to Bill for being the father of the year and a great husband. And Naomi left, and Hayley told Bill that she thinks that maybe she and Naomi can make up just like he and Naomi made up. And all I thought during these scenes is that they've somehow even made Hayley as boring as the rest of this show, even though her storyline with Bill and Randy and later Lynette was one of the only strong things happening on this show. But they're stalling it too much and too long. The only other thing that happened today was Kat coming over to show Chelsea and Dani that Chelsea has gone viral for slapping the phone out of that reporter's hand in yesterday's episode. There's all these allusions to, Chelsea being like Dani here. A lot of the comments saying that two in the viral video saying like mother, like daughter. Chelsea decided to do a live to give her side of the story and say that she offered to buy that reporter a new phone and said that an act of violence is never the answer. But what I got from this storyline today is that, similar to everyone talking about Lynette, even though she could be dead and we don't see her, everyone is always talking about this case with Madison. Madison's only ever on once in a great while, but yet we're supposed to be invested in this case against her. We're supposed to be invested in Madison as a character and that she's being sued for fraudulent charges. We never see any of it. It's terrible writing. I don't care what anyone says. Tracy Thompson needs to go. She is an absolute shit writer. I would put her with some of the worst soap opera writers I've ever seen. Because the show should not have become as boring as it has become since she became co-head writer. Today's episode sucked.